Okay, for today's lesson, we're going to need the sheet that says dividing numbers in scientific notation. So far we've learned about scientific notation, what it is, how to write it. We learned about multiplying numbers in scientific notation and then converting them back and making sure that the final answer is in scientific notation. And today we're going to go kind of backwards with that. We're going to be dividing. So dividing is essentially doing the same thing we did the previous day, but just with opposite methods. So I'm going to take the base numbers here. We see it's a division problem because it's a fraction. It's two numbers in scientific notation written over each other. So I'm going to take 3.7. I'm going to divide it by 9.8 on my calculator. So 3.7 divided by 9.8. And I'm going to write this number down. I'm just going to list the first four digits. Okay, 0.3775. And then scientific notation is always times 10. Okay, yesterday when we multiplied the tens with the exponents, we added them. Well, today you divide, so it's the opposite, so you're going to subtract those exponents. So I take the top exponent and I subtract this bottom exponent. So I get an answer of 0.3775 times 10. 3 minus 0 is still 3. And then I need to look at my base number right here and ask myself, is that scientific notation? Okay, 0.3775 is not 1 or more. So this decimal needs to be moved to a spot where the base number is now 1 or more, but less than 10. And we see here it's 3.775. So 3.775 times 10 to the third power. We can even just round that off and just say 3.77 times 10 to the third power. Leave it at that. Okay, number 2, let's do 8.2 divided by 3, which comes from those base numbers. So 8.2 divided by 3. And I'm going to modify a little bit. I'm just going to write down the first 3 numbers I see. 2.73 times 10. And then I put the top exponent 4. I subtract the bottom one of 4. Okay, so I have 2.73 times 10. 4 take away 4 is 0. We know that 10 to the 0 power is going to be equal to 1. But if we need it in scientific notation, you have to have a base number, 1 or more. You have to have a times 10 to some power. So because of that, we're going to leave that just like that is, and that's our final answer. Okay, third one. Let's take 9.94 divided by 1.3. So 9.94 divided by 1.3. And I get an answer of 7. I'm going to go first 3, 7.64 times 10. Take the top exponent 4. Subtract that bottom one, 0. Okay, 7.64, that number is 1 or more. It's less than 10. That decimal point does not need to move. So it's going to be 7.64 times 10 to the fourth power. Okay, last one we're going to do together, number 4, is 9.8 divided by 2.38. And I'm going to say the first 3, 4.11 times 10. Take this top exponent of a 4, subtract the bottom one, which is 1. The base number, we see that's already okay. It's 1 or more, it's less than 10, so I don't need to move that decimal any. Okay, times 10 to the 4 take away 1 is 3. So the big thing to remember is when you divide these numbers today, and let's say you get an answer like 0.756, and maybe we hit like times 10 to the fourth power, you check that base number. If that base number is not 1 or more, this decimal point probably has to move back just 1 spot. And if it moves back 1 spot, then you need to subtract 1 away from that exponent. So we would rewrite something like that as that. Okay, so just remember, when you move it to the right like that, you're going to subtract 1. Okay, go ahead and solve number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10, number 11, 12, 13, and last, number 14.